Good morning and welcome to a first look for me at the Discovery Tour for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which should be a nice look at some Viking and Anglo Saxon history. I'm actually pretty hyped. This dropped in to the client yesterday. I haven't touched it at all, so we'll take a look and we'll see what we think. Anyway, good morning, and I want to offer a big shout out to any new followers. I had a few over the night, so thank you for checking out my content. Welcome if you're joining the stream. Sunday Vanilla, hello, how are you doing? Lovely to see you here. Mimi, my goodness. Hello, everybody. I hope you're up for some Vikings and some Anglo Saxons, because we're going to have a quick look around with all that stuff. So I've never done one of the Discovery tours before on one of these Assassin's Creed games, but I've been really meaning to. When they did the one on Origins, I was like, I've got to check that out one day. But we're going to start with this one. A lot of personal interest here, so I'm going to jump right in. But lovely to see you both. I hope you're both doing well. You have to forgive me. I'm still on my coffee this morning. How's tricks, guys? Hope you're having fun. Oh, man. Sorry. Almost ready to go. Right, so let's check this out. Let's see what it's all about. And hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear, and there should be some sound. Should be able to hear some background sound. I am good, thank you. Well, not a surprise, but a short notice day off for the kids today, and so I was a bit delayed this morning, but all good. Tricks are for kids. You're right. You are right. Okay, let's just hang on. What are the options? Graphic mode is quality. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing too much running around and craziness, so we'll just leave it on nice quality. When I run my Series X through my capture card, because I have like a pretty low-end capture card, it doesn't bring the HDR through, which is a shame, but it's still such a pretty looking game, so we'll just jump in, I think. Oh yeah, no, so it was a scheduled day off, but you know, I didn't remember it, and you know, so I didn't get to go at 9, and you know, the missus was busy, she has a meeting, so I just had to get our ducks in a row a little bit. But yeah, everyone is okay, thank you. So we don't play as Ivor in this. I don't know this chap's name, but I do know that he's some kind of a merchant. So this is like a non-combat tour through historical stuff. And it also, other than all the history, I don't know how much narration there is. Oh,
and welcome to Discovery Tour Viking Age.
Oh, nice, Mimi.
Just like the brave Scandinavians who left their homes on longships in search of new horizons, a quest for knowledge and a promise of adventure awaits you.
Hype.
For 3 centuries, adventurers set sail in search of trade, land, and sometimes plunder, changing the world forever in ways that can still be felt today. We call these adventurers Vikings. Some remember them merely as brutal warriors and merciless conquerors.
There we go.
But there is much more to learn.
Do we want to
about
see
their
my
rich
ugly
and
mug today?
complex
Let's
culture.
see. Make sure I'm not on the narration.
History will come alive for you through the eyes of those
I hope you're
who
cozy,
lived it.
Mimi.
Norse merchants looking to make their fortune.
Got
An
a bit cooler
Anglo-Saxon monk
in New
in
Jersey,
search
and
of
it's
his life's
so
meaning.
cozy in bed.
And even King Alfred himself. You will follow their deeds,
Alfred?
both great and small, as they navigate their eventful time in places known today as England and Norway. But fear not. Discovery Tour Viking Age is a safe, combat-free experience that you can enjoy at your own pace and in your own time. Tapping into the years of research of the Assassin's Creed Valhalla team, its content has been crafted in close partnership with renowned historians and academics. On behalf of the entire development team, we hope you enjoy Discovery Tour Viking Age. May the seas be
Looks
kind
good.
on your journey.
So we'll have to see. Oh, no worries, Sunday. Good luck out there. Thorstein, a young merchant, prepares to leave on his first raiding expedition, a perilous voyage across the seas. I missed that last bit. But before he leaves, he must settle his business affairs and attend the assembly of free men. $866. Okay. So this is like...
Your father would be happy to come to the farmer's company.
Oh, this is... I didn't realize this was
You'll be off
scripted.
raiding for months, not years. Shorter than your trade routes even. The farm and I will still be here when you return.
And return I shall.
You had better, or I'll come find you.
Trick, do you have any questions for me before I leave?
No. I'll take good care of Gunhilda's reputation while you're away.
I doubt she'll need help, but I'll be glad to know you're here all the same.
Come, Thorstein. The market waits for no man.
Coming, my love.
Alrighty. This game is ridiculously
I'm
nice
coming,
looking.
Gunhilda.
Alright, I better keep up with Gunhilda instead of taking screenshots. Alright, so these gold markers are like historical points of interest, so we'll be checking these out. Discovery sites, that's right, and behind the scenes. So gold is discovery sites, blue are behind the scenes. And check the learning entries to learn more about historical facts and the making of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Revisit them in the menu. Okay, we'll just check these out as we find them. Stavanger.
Coddle him, my love.
Stavanger was built as a natural coastal harbour in southwestern Scandinavia. While little is known about its history in this epoch, what is known helped to inspire key events in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It is said that the famous naval battle of Hafrsfjord, I can't say that word, took place near Stavanger in the late 8th century. The battle pitched Harald Fairhair against a coalition of petty kings determined to prevent the young Jarl's rise to power. Among Harald's adversaries was a man named Kjotve the Rich. Alright, he's the bad guy at the start of the game. I haven't beat him yet. He was the inspiration for the despicable Kjotve the Cruel, whose actions in AC Valhalla launched the player on a quest for vengeance. To create Stavanger in Assassin's Creed, the development team drew inspiration from the trade market of Kalpang. Kalpang, pictured here, is located near modern-day city of Oslo in Norway. Oh wow, okay.
Slaves, talk, Gunhilda. If he returns to his family and says we mistreated him, I might find myself in a duel.
Oh geez, that dude
No duels until you
earlier
worked
was
on
a
your
slave?
swordsmanship.
I'm sure to get practice on this expedition with Harold. Our enemies may not fight with blunted blades, but he's promised me the children of Stavanger are far more fierce.
The children who struck you as you lay sleeping, then ran away laughing? You'll need to keep your wits about you if so.
I figured that was a young relative or something, but I guess that dude was a slave. Designing Stvanger. Historical accuracy versus compelling gameplay.
Stvanger, as with many cities in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, is based on an existing city, also called Stavanger. To reconstruct it, level designers and artists used maps, pictures and drawings by archaeologist Jean-Claude Gauvin as references, adding alterations for gameplay purposes. While not all the towns resembled Gauvin's drawings, some iconic details helped give a Scandinavian signature to the towns and settlements of the game, easily recognizable by players. Narrow streets, docks, and a salient longhouse in the distance, they all incite exploration and the need for adventure.
Yo, Be Friendly, how are you? Good to see you this morning, dude. Or this afternoon. This is a discovery mode for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, just released last night.
The stitching is exquisite.
Of course. My wife takes great pride in the needlework, with good reason.
You must have been blessed by Heimdall, a vision so keen and hands so steady.
Only a talented mother and a very patient husband.
Give Alvik a kiss from me next time you see her.
I will. Fortune guide you, friend.
Just think, after a few raids, we'll have enough silver to leave this place for good.
Have you not been happy here?
With you, I would be happy anywhere. But Stavanger is small.
Stvanger.
Too small for the grand dreams of the shepherd girl.
I gotta say that right.
And why not? Even a worm may one day hold up the sky.
Come, Mikael has promised to aid you in my affairs while I'm at sea. You'll have plenty of time to dream while I'm gone.
So the town, compared to when you're playing the game, is way more populated with characters and people
Mikael,
doing their thing.
It's a fine day for little business, don't you think?
Get away from here, Thirsty!
This
I
is
want to see
Assassin's
dealing with a
Creed
boat,
Valhalla. Be
Oh,
friendly.
what?
Keep your voices down. On what grounds do you base this outrageous claim?
That is for you and Bjorn to discuss.
Ooh.
I can't believe he'd betray me like this.
You haven't known Mikael that long. He has to protect his own reputation first.
Not him, Bjorn.
He's always sniffing about your trades like a wild dog. He envies your success and wishes to take it for himself.
Well, we won't let him. We've worked too hard for him to take this chance away from us now. We will not let Bjorn get away with this, I swear it.
So what are we going to do about it? Oh, I see. Okay. So we're off to Bjorn's market stall to have it out with him. Pretty impressed with this so far. Let's get this marker. Oh wow, look at the sky. This might be about the ships. Let's see. The North Way, trade and economy. Wow, we're really far north up here. In 864, many small kingdoms laid claim to the western coast of Scandinavia. They struggled for wealth and power, and many sought to control a valuable sailing route, the North Way. Let's have a look. To maintain power, kings needed to keep wealth flowing to their allies and followers. Controlling parts of the North Way could help a king to keep the riches coming and keep his followers happy. These holdings allowed the young king Harold to dominate the trade route and rise to great political and social power. This map depicts the estates held by Harold along the Northern Way. So he had 1 through 7 in the British Isles. Not bad for a young king. But we're off to find Bjorn, so let's do that. And there's another discovery point down here as well.
Bjorn, what have you done? What falsehoods have you been spreading about my family's honor?
Nothing but the truth. This sail your wife made, that you sold me, is as rotten as your intentions. You wish for me and my men to drown on the open ocean, where our bodies would never be found.
Are you a fool? Even if I wanted to leave you stranded and sail west alone, Harold would never allow it. He would make me rescue you, and then we would all be doomed.
I don't claim to understand you, Oathbreaker, but your methods are plain. I believe I'll go inform Harold of your duplicity. He should be arriving any moment now.
Dude, what an arsehole.
My love, that is no work of mine.
I know. This was done by a hand far coarser than yours. Bjorn is trying to sabotage my place on the expedition.
You cannot let him accuse you in front of the assembly. No chieftain would ever take you on again. I will not see my parents starve because of Bjorn's lies.
Then I must gather evidence and bring his falsehoods to light.
I will speak with the wives, to rally them to our cause. And I will pray to the Hamminja for guidance.
Our ancestors will give you wise counsel, I'm sure of it. I'll see you outside the assembly.
Hey, Yuzi. Oh, wow, I didn't know you could get out of vehicles in Snowrunner, right?
If I'm an impulsive oaf,
Nice.
why would I hide this?
It does happen, dude. How you doing, Yuzi? So this is
These crates came from
this is the new discovery tour for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So it's all about Norway and Vikings, and then the Anglo Saxons as well. So we'll have a look. And you've just been accused of selling dodgy goods to try and ruin someone's day. We're gonna pick this up though.
Tell me, did Bjorn accept any wares these past few days?
Surely he did. I carried them myself. Wet and nasty they were, smelling as if they'd been stored at the water's edge.
Sounds
You
like he
happen to see
bought a
what
dodgy
was
sale.
inside?
No, but it had that damp sheep smell. Wool, I suppose.
Thank you, my friend.
The Flag or Fellowship was a legal, social, and business fellowship formed by 2 or more people. Members of a flag often became trusted companions. So what's the stone? Like a second family, Falagi or member of the Fellowship was protected his companions and their interests. If a Falagi was killed, one of his fellows would avenge him, take care of his funeral arrangements and honor his memory by immortalizing him in a runestone. This runestone was erected by 3 surviving members of a Falag to commemorate their partner, whom they called the most unvillainous of men. So that's the real deal. Like a guild, I suppose. But it seems a little bit more personal. You can't stay, just wanted to say hi and be a little facetious. Keep you open though. Thank you very much, dude. Hope you're doing well. So I need to find some more people. Who are going to speak honestly about this situation. I think I did this one. But let's get back into the middle of town here. The land of ice and snow, daily life. As Scandinavia in the Viking Age was depicted as a land of ice and snow, it's often believed that its barren, frozen nature drove the Scandinavians to leave their homeland. The truth was more complicated. Ancient Scandinavia was not all ice and snow. It included green, lush landscapes like these Norwegian islands. In fact, its soil was quite fertile along the coast and in the south, and could yield generous crop. However, Scandinavian harvests did pale in comparison to those in Frankish or Anglo Saxon kingdoms, adding incentive for the invasion and settlement of those lands. Look how nice it looks. It looks very nice. Let's go through some alleys. Games and sports. Medieval Scandinavians enjoyed games and activities in their free time. These sports were not played just for fun. They were a chance to hone their participants' tactical cunning, mental fitness, and physical strength. So it's a game like chess. Outdoor sports were very physical and competitive, requiring strength and endurance and agility. One activity was the glimmer, a form of wrestling with no holds barred. In the glimmer, each wrestler had to struggle to keep his opponent pinned to the ground. Medieval Scandinavians also loved to ski.
Even warriors get some playtime. Indeed, it seems that Vikings played board games that involved throwing small objects, such as carved wooden figures. However, the team couldn't find any clear rules for these games. But all hope wasn't lost. The developers of Singapore, Chengdu, and Montreal studios all came together to invent new rules and mocked up their prototypes in a tabletop simulator. And then probably got really angry when one of them won and the rest lost. Everyone on the team could experience and enjoy the evolving versions of the Orlog 2.0. A first physical prototype was also made, using real dice that were painted over. The game of Orlog was reborn. And AC Valhalla's version of the Orlog was so loved by fans that Ubisoft partnered with Pure Arts to produce real-life Orlog sets.
I have to give that a go. I didn't really play that. think I need to find a bit more evidence that Bjorn is trying to stitch me up. So let's get on with that. Sit back down to the docks. Yo, Safehouse, how you doing, dude? Welcome. This is the what do they call it? The Discovery Tour for Valhalla, which just came out. Ah, the marker disappeared. So I thought speaking to that guy was probably going to be good enough. Spoke to him. How you doing, Safehouse? So we did this bit. So let's just get over here. You were wondering when they were going to add this, right? So I noticed it late last night, honestly, just as I was heading to bed, and I was like, if it's good, I'll stream it today. And so what I did was I just watched the video this morning, and it does look really interesting. And the first like 20 minutes or so, how long have I been going? Yeah, it's been really good. It's a really different experience than the game. Like, the city is so alive of people going about their business. It's really clever. But that said, I'm not 100% sure. I need to find more evidence. Oh, I see. All right, there is someone else to talk to down here, because that marker keeps coming back. So I've got to... Oh, dear. So this is about me. So this is that dude calling me a oathbreaker, thief, liar, and traitor. I'm not going to have that. There must be someone else down here to talk to. Is it you guys? No? You're busy fishing. So I wonder what language they're all talking. Is it? Do they use Norwegian or? What about you? No, you're busy fishing too. Everybody's fishing. Alright, so if I leave this area, a marker comes up here. So maybe there's someone else to talk to. That's the same note. What about these angry people? One of you want to talk? Not really. Well, the last time I spoke to someone, there was a nice little icon above their heads, and I don't see anything now. So why don't we just go and get the rest of these historical markers and see if something reactivates. Oh, hang on. Could have sworn I just saw. Yeah, it's still pointing me in this direction. So that marker is in the sky. There must be someone here. Hello, hello. Not you guys either. Let me go speak to that one guy again. Maybe I broke off too soon. No, not you. No, I can't speak to him again. That was the guy who spoke before. What about you? Nothing? That's a nice view, though. Oh, does Odin's sight work? Yeah, good idea, dude. So that is... That's me. Yo, Tommy B, how's it going, man? I'm doing well, thanks. Got a little late start to the day, but I'm doing good. How's it going over there? In Yorkshire, which is one of the locations we might end up in today. Let me just double check all these folks. What about you? You're not yelling too much. I'm not 100% sure this is right. Like, I think I've done the bit I'm supposed to do. In the office today. Oh my god, dude. A bit lucky. No problem, mate. No problem. The actual office, eh? Well, good luck to you, mate. That's all I can say. Yeah, we did that. Oh, maybe is this the stone? Look at that one. It's got a long ship on it. But you, are you the guy? Alright, I'm definitely moving on now. Ooh. Ooh. What's this? There's a little eye icon here.
That is Gunhilda's stitching. So Bjorn planned to take her sail for himself after all.
Bjorn, you sneaky bastard. Alright, I think we might have found it.
It will need to be more than my word against Bjorn. I'll need people to vouch for me as well.
It's crazy. Our building had like 300 plus people today in it pre-COVID. I'm one of 5 on this. Okay, before COVID. And you're one of 5 on the entire floor today. My God. Dude. It's creepy. It's like that movie. What's that movie where the guy wakes up and it's all zombies and he's in the hospital? Anyway. Yo, Lindsay, hello. How you doing? We are we're taking a look at the Discovery Tour here in AC Valhalla, which just came out. Oh, okay, good. This advanced the main quest. So let's get back on target a little bit. So this is a non-fighting kind of historical tour, and there's a story playing out. Essentially, you're a merchant ready to go on one of these expeditions, and just as you're about to get ready to go, someone in the town is calling you out as being a shoddy salesman trying to stitch someone up, when in fact they're trying to stitch you up. So I think we're gonna confront this situation. Oh, look at this. 28 days later, that's exactly the one I was thinking of.
Neighbors,
that's right.
Listen to me.
Great movie.
Bjorn has declared me Oathbreaker,
Bjorn.
calling my good name into question.
We saw the sail. It would have torn in the first gust of wind.
That was a sail he bought from Notfall, carried to us in sea-soaked wood. My wife's sail he kept aside for himself, to use once he reached the open sea.
I am familiar with Gunhilda's stitching. That sail was no work of her hands.
Yes,
What reason does Bjorn have to lie? If revealing the truth is as simple as you say.
He hoped to turn Harold against me, to keep me from tomorrow's expedition, to hide the truth until I had already been exiled. If you care for we who will travel with him, this insult cannot go unanswered. He would endanger his crew for a petty grievance. He is unworthy of command. Free men of Stavanger, hear me.
Stavanger.
We must inform the assembly. We must inform Harold Jarl. Only then will our safe return be assured. Are you with me?
Nice.
The assembly is about to start.
Does feel a bit 28 days later, a bit like there's been an apocalypse and nobody bothered to tell me. Yeah, the end of the world and no one mentioned it to me. The Walking Dead. Oh, so there's this, if you haven't seen it, Safehouse, 28 days later is like the zombie movie set in the UK with fast zombies. It's great. It's really great. All right, let's keep this going. All right. I thought so. There's another. Oh, let's get this one. Let's get this one. Runes and runestones. Runes were both magic symbols and alphabetic characters engraved on stone. They created runestones. The Old Norse rune means secret or esoteric knowledge. Runes made up the Futhark, the runic alphabet. Each rune had a unique meaning. For example, the rune Wunjo, engraved on this little bloodstone, is the letter W, as well as the rune of joy and kinship. As with all written words, runes could carry memories and histories into the future. By engraving them in stone, the Scandinavians ensured their stories would endure. Rune stones told a wide variety of stories. They could also honor people and events. Sometimes women would order a runestone engraved to commemorate their courage of their husbands and sons who perished in battle or at sea. Get your runestones. So, let's keep this going. Let's go and see Harold and tell him what a shit Bjorn is. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Well, let's do this one too. All I heard was a guy wakes up in hospital with zombies all around. I'm sorry, that's Rick Grimes, dude. I think you're right. God, you're totally right. I actually really enjoyed the first few seasons of The Walking Dead. Hamminger, a family spirit. The Hamminger was a spirit of a family and was responsible for its luck and prosperity. The Hamminger bound each family member together. It's creepy looking. Luck could be shared with family and friends, but it had its limits. The Hamminger had to be treated with care and respect. If a person or family behaved badly, their luck could turn and their prosperity end. Legends said that the Hamminger often appeared as a giant ghostly woman, like this concept art. So, like, clearly the Vikings at this point at least, or at this little point in history, hadn't like fully embraced like Christianity. So I wonder when that happened. All right, let's just go through to the middle of town. Music starting up. Fashion, a status symbol. Fashion was a way for medieval Scandinavians to showcase their wealth and influence. A person's jewelry and the color of their clothing were important status symbols. Look at that stuff. Deep, richly colored fabrics were valuable. Rich colors meant the material had been dyed more than once because dyeing was expensive. Wearing colorful clothing was a sign of wealth. Some colors were indeed specifically for high society. According to archaeologists, blue fabrics were often worn by the very wealthy. Jewelry was another sign of social status. The more expensive the jewelry, the wealthier its wearer. The size, material, and quality of the piece of jewelry determined their value. Silver was the most common metal in jewelry. Gold would have been worn only by very wealthy individuals. Colorful glass or stone beads were also prized as fashion accessories. Fashion, baby. Alright. We're on the right path. The Walking Dead had a dip, which is when a lot of people gave up on it, but it picked way back up in like season 8 or season 9. So good. I'll tell you what, dude, I could get used to Historian Scruffy. That's great. Oh, mate, you don't want to hear my plans for like, I really want to nerd out about a couple of things, but I'll save you all from that now. Keep it to video games. Kin and household, war and politics. Family was the cornerstone of ancient Scandinavian society. A person's spiritual and legal identity was tied to their family and heritage. A person's spiritual and legal identity was tied to their family and heritage. Okay. Family members shared more than blood. They were bound together by a spirit called Haminger. I can't say some of these words. The Haminger was responsible for the prosperity and luck of the family. Family mattered more than on a spiritual level. It also defined a person in the eyes of the law. Rules about landholding, inheritance, and more were all centered around the family rather than the individual. A person who did not... Can you see me trying to get my head around this idea? We have such a individual concept of property and inheritance and things. A person who did not know their lineage or ancestry was not legally recognized. Hence slavery, I suppose. It was common practice to honor one's kin, whether living or dead, by engraving their stories and deeds on runestones like this. Oh, was there another runestone there? There was not. Nerdier the better. You got it, dude. You got it. Wow, stay tuned. Oh, this all looks important. Let's see how they made this game. The creation of Ivor. A hooded cloak and a red sash. Only a few subtle details hint at the assassin's background.
Every detail matters when designing a main character. Personality, backstory, mannerisms. Eivor, the wolf-kissed, must have a noticeable scar. And tattoos to represent past events, beliefs, and clan affiliation. A mood board was made with various references from Mad Max's Furiosa to Major Motoko Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell, which allowed concept artists to create compositions, silhouettes, shapes, and concepts. Then the character modelers designed the details, hairstyles, tattoos, outfits, and even leather stitching. while animators focused on body movement and facial expressions. Finally, actors Magnus Brun Nielsen and Cecily Stenspill were cast to give Eivor a voice, tailored to her or his personality.
Eivor.
It's
I've got to say it
alive!
like that.
Alive!
I keep saying Ivor, like Ivor the engine. So Furiosa was an inspiration, which is great because she totally kicks ass. The Thing, or Assembly. This modern day stuff really leaves me cold in the AC franchise. Absolutely kills the immersion. I understood in the early games, but by this point surely you couldn't live without it. Yeah, I agree. I agree, mate. Especially since the reboot. But it is what it is. The Thing was an assembly of Norse freemen. Those gathered discuss politics, war, trade, and acted as a court of law. Rules were made, crimes judged, and punishments doled out. They were held throughout the year. The chieftain or the king presided over every session. He was sometimes joined or replaced by a lawmaker, the Gothi, who knew all the laws by heart. Laws had to be remembered because the Scandinavians had no written legal code at this time. Every freeman had the right to speak freely at the Thing. He could share his opinions, ask questions, and weigh in on issues of social interest. He could also demand justice for crimes or slights. Even though all the freemen had the right to be heard, the wealthier members of the Thing could use their influence to steer the Assembly's decisions their way. When the Scandinavians settled in Iceland, they held their Thing in a place they called Thingvellir, the assembly field. Here is a photograph of one today. How about that? Ooh, we unlocked a character. All right, we'll check that out.
I found
it's
your sale
Brunhilde.
in the mark of the goods Bjorn claimed were ours. His lies are already falling apart.
I'll see you later, Tommy. Good luck in the meeting, dude. Thanks for hanging out.
What you have found may not be enough to convince the Assembly. What will you do?
I will demand a Manjapnater and declare my own deeds as evidence that my word holds more weight than Bjorn's. His reputation cannot compete with ours.
A sound plan. I have rallied the wives to our cause and prayed to the gods. Even if you lose, my silver-tongued warrior, the women will make the Assembly see reason.
I see my heart beats as fiercely as ever.
Go now. Reclaim our honor.
Forsetti, bless me as I defend my honor.
Right, let's have it out with Bjorn then. I think it's in front of Harold.
Oathbreaker! Come to beg forgiveness with your tail between your legs!
Men of the Assembly, Bjorn claimed the sail I sold him was rotten. But I have found Gunhilde's work hidden, and the sail he claimed was mine came in sea-soaked wood from Notfall. He sought to ruin my reputation to cover up his poor trade, all so he could claim Harold's favor as his own.
Thorstein, if what you say is true, Bjorn is guilty of lying, injury to your reputation, and of an arrogance that could have led to the deaths of his crew and yours. Yet he was the one to bring you before the Assembly. So now you must choose. How will you defend your honor?
We will have combat aplenty across the sea. I choose the Manjapnater.
Come then. My tongue is as sharp as my blade. Declare yourself worthy, if you can.
Verbal joust. During the duel, listen carefully to what your opponent is saying. Select the most suitable and accurate answer within the available choices to win the duel. But beware, you only have a limited time to answer. All right.
I'm the finest of navigators, at home on the sea.
If you're so at home, then it's where you should be.
Weak, Thorstein, just like you. I was the first to be picked for this crew.
And Harold sought me when he already had you.
How can he believe you are the better choice? You're playing him for a fool. You're a liar, a thief, and a braggart, a pest.
My worst is still better than you at your best.
No truer words have ever been spoken. It's a shame I have to step in. It's clear that Thorstein is the one who has been wronged. It is my suggestion that Bjorn be removed from my expedition and exiled, never to return. His lands and trade goods will be forfeit, gone to pay the costs of finding another navigator with so little time to spare.
No, Harald.
Do not draw more of my wrath upon yourself. I could have named you a murderer and demanded your death.
That's right, Bjorn. Eat it.
What say you, men of
Yes,
Stavanger?
can you imagine that
Do
safe
you
house?
accept the terms put forth by Harald Jarl?
We choose exile.
Exile.
Exile! Then it is decided. Now come, Thorstein. We have a navigator to find.
Yeah, but like, what if you were like bad at flighting? Like, what if everything was right and you were on the right side, but the dude you were up against was just like a total rapper? Because that would be me. I guess in that case, you'd have to have picked a fight. But that dude was massive. Bjorn's was exiled. All right, cool. So okay, story. I think this is the story is completed, and we have now the Elder Man set. Let's check that out. Next quest will start in 28 seconds. Through faith and fire, our brother Elwick awakens on the first day of the Isle of Eli, ready to integrate himself into the monastic life. His quiet peace broken by an unexpected turn of events, the young monk is plunged into the depths of despair beyond all help. Oh yeah, we'll start that. Keep things moving along. Oh, look, there we are. Look at this dude. I know, can you imagine those safe houses? Crazy, eh? Through faith and fire. Brother Ulrich begins his first day as a monk in the monastery on the Isle of Eli. Am I saying that right? Or is it Eli? Unaware of the ebb and flow of power, Ulrich has only one goal, making a good first impression. So this is 870 again.
Brother Elrich, awaken.
Elrich. No H on that C, but okay.
I'd best not keep the abbess waiting.
I know the journey was hard on you, so I'll let you sleep through the dawn prayer.
Good morning, abbess.
Now, the sun is rising. You must not miss prime.
I appreciate the reprieve and the awakening.
Call it a weakness. Your father's name will be a stone around your neck in Ely.
Ely.
You have a difficult path ahead of you, I'm afraid.
Yes, abbess.
Well, there's nothing to be done about it. Better you prove yourself early than risk becoming the subject of gossip.
I will, abbess.
You may break your fast in the kitchen with the others once your prayers are concluded. We don't frown on piety here, brother. Should you wish to stay at chapel to pray to the Lord once your duties are concluded, you may be assured that food will be available to you, as long as you go to the kitchen before terce.
That's mid-morning?
Precisely, my son.
Yeah, right, Safehouse. Oh, let's get a panoramic view here. That's nice, man. Yeah, it is. There's the Roman ruins just over there as well. Let's check this out.
Photogrammetry isn't just a very hard word to say, it's also an innovative technique for in-game textures. Determined to illustrate accurate surfaces, the graphics team travelled to England to capture every inch of stone walls and pavements, sometimes for 12 hours straight. A 3-metre wall would take 250 pictures, stitched together by specialised software. The final result is a 3D file with colours and depths, designed into tileable textures. These textures are then used by level artists and modelers to add onto buildings. To push the realism further, the graphics team also added uneven silhouettes with protruding stones, slate angles, and damaged areas.
Have to make it look rough to make it look real. I've heard that a whole bunch of times now in game design. Like, if you have perfect textures and surfaces, things don't look real. Like, your brain knows there's something wrong with it, but when it's all messed up, then you believe it more. Here's the abbess. I'm trying to place her accent. Oh, wow. She's waving at me. I'll be over in a minute. Church testimonies. Priests, monks, and nuns who survived Norse raids recorded their experiences on parchment. Their moving testimonies would shape the later generations' understandings of the Vikings, but we should read with a critical eye. At the time of the Vikings, not many people could read and write. Many of those who could were church officials. Their writings were created and kept in the monasteries. Most of the pre-conquest English manuscripts that survive to this day were preserved during the Middle Ages in a handful of churches shown on this map. Because the clergy's writings were preserved, the church's side of the story endured and dominated the historical narrative. The church portrayed the Vikings as bloodthirsty pagan brutes, and this image still prevails today. But bias and political motives may have helped to shape the church's records of the era. The Vikings were pagan or non-Christian, and the church disliked and often demonized pagans. No shit. The Vikings who would raid monasteries were a hated threat to the church's wealth and safety of its people. Furthermore, by portraying Vikings as ruthless murderers, the church helped to drum up resistance to the invaders. The testimonies of the clergymen could be helpful for Anglo-Saxon leaders fighting the Vikings. The more bad publicity they gave the enemy, the more effective propaganda it would be. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt that's all true. But you have to, like, the Vikings were invading. That's what was going on. Oh, wow, yeah. I missed out on doing something before I left the UK. This is making me think of that. The art of illumination. Ecclesiastics or members of the church believed that decoration highlighted the value of a written text. Illumination, or the inclusion of splendid and complex paints, was reserved for the most special and important manuscripts. Creating a book was a team effort. Many talented illuminators might take part in decorating a codex or a book with stunning paints and illustrations. Some would paint letters in rich colors and gild them with golden leaves. Others would fill the margins with beautiful patterns that framed and embellished the text. Sometimes there were no words on the page at all, only colourful illustrations as seen in this 8th century manuscript. It's beautiful. Yeah, my aunt and uncle were on at me. They're the ones from York.
Must not miss Prime.
To go and see this illustrated Bible.
These scriptures are there as a guide,
but I never
my
did.
son. When reading them, we must listen also for the voice of God, guiding us in the right interpretation of his word.
But how can we be sure our interpretation is God's will?
I know you long to understand the heart of God, Oswine, but you will go nowhere without the ability to listen to your betters.
Sister, I was wondering if I might consult you on a somewhat urgent medical matter after this month.
What is monastic prayer? It consists primarily of psalms supplemented by hymns, readings, and other prayers and antiphons prayed at fixed prayer times. Together with the Mass, it constitutes the official public prayer life of the Church. The Liturgy of the Hours also forms the basis of prayer within Christian monasticism. I only understood about half of that. The Liturgy of the Hours, Latin Liturgia Horarum, or Divine Office, in Latin Officium Divinitum, or Work of God, Opus Dei, or Canonical Hours, often referred to as the Breviary, is the official set of prayers marking the hours of each day and sanctifying the day with prayer. Bloody hell, that's complicated. In the practice of Christianity, canonical hours mark the divisions of the day in terms of the fixed times of prayer at regular intervals. Okay, so that's how they kept clock.
Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum. Adveniat regnum tuum. Fiat voluntas tua, sicut in caelo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimitti nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris. Et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo. Amen.
So that was lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil right there. So that's, I guess it was all just still Latin. Relics and saints. A relic is an object considered sacred because its connection to a saint, a holy person close to God. A relic could be something that the saint had owned or touched. It could also be their finger, their skull, or even their tongue. Nothing weird about that at all. According to the church, a saint's connection with God granted them miraculous powers. It was thought that they could help answer prayers, heal the sick, and advocate for the faithful on earth. Early medieval churches encouraged worshippers to believe that relics helped to access the saint's power. Christian pilgrims traveled far and wide to see and touch the sacred objects, hoping for miracles, filling their churches and bringing businesses to the town. The practice of revering and petitioning saints and their relics was known as the cult of saints. Because of their popularity, relics were placed in special containers to protect them from wear and tear. These were called reliquaries, as seen in the image. They were often made from precious metals. The most important and sacred religion relics would be held in a church where the clergy controlled who could visit them. While the Discovery Tour wished to depict the value and sanctity attributed to a relic, the journey of the Winchester reliquary in our game is fictitious. Winchester's lovely, by the way, if you haven't been. Alright, let's just keep the story moving. This bit's all very churchy, isn't it? Oh, I gotta go outside. Oh no, here we go.
Time to eat.
Oh, breakfast. Right, let's have a look here.
And then used to wear woolen garments. And she rarely bathed in hot
A strict
water
diet.
except before Easter.
Anglo-Saxon churches despised all the sins, including gluttony.
Before the
Oh,
day
God.
of Christ's
It was believed that fasting or keeping to a diet of bread and water would help monks and nuns resist the devil and temptations. Even when they were not fasting, monks and nuns would have been instructed to keep a strict diet. While not much is known about their food habits in the 9th century, scholars can make some educated guesses based on what the 10th century clergy were eating. It's most likely that monks and nuns were mostly vegetarian. Meat or fish would only be eaten on special occasions. For example, a feast like the one illustrated here, for the sake of self-denial, the clergy would have been allowed only 1 or 2 meals a day.
From the time of Martin,
I mean, I bet when the Vikings showed up,
praying,
these monks were a pushover.
and through God's
They only eat
Spirit,
1 meal a day
she
or 2.
herself
Standing up to anyone.
Are you well, Brother Oswin?
We must have silence at the Lord's table.
Brother!
take him to the infirmary if you must.
Oh.
But the bishop shall hear of your defiance.
Tell me, Oswin, where does it hurt?
Everywhere, brother! It's like there's fire in my veins!
I will find a way to ease your pain. I promise.
Alright, where are we going? Gotta save this dude. I think we got to get out of here. There we go.
I must find the monk in charge. Father Bertwald, was it?
I hope you can treat that patient yourself. God, in his infinite wisdom, only gave me 2 hands.
The patient speaks of fire in the veins, Father.
An uncommon ailment, and one I don't know by heart. The scribes often copy remedies in the scriptorium. You may be able to find something there to aid you. But if not, Sister Winifred will be able to help.
Yes, Father. Scriptorium. Right, I remember where that was.
Do you? Alright, good. Let's get there.
Can I help you, brother?
Yellow disease, the sudden growth of humor, either red, white, yellow, or black. The body gains in bitterness and becomes yellow as the good silk. Swarthy veins under the tongue, those tokens you will associate to jaundice.
No.
Vivid pain of the side, very strong and vicious fever, a heap of sore on either side, frequent cough and dryness of the tongue. Those tokens or any akin to them converse the presence of liver disease. I don't know.
Oh, let me just... Ah, no.
Not that one. Elf Hickey. The eye is yellow where it should be red. For a man, a yellow blackish facial look. For a woman, a livid red countenance. Those are among the tokens of devilish affliction and elven mischief. Okay.
No.
I don't think it's the elves making him choke. Blood flux. Clasps in the upper part of the belly or in the nether, mickle, sore, and the inflation of the inwards. I don't understand that sentence. Frequent and often bloody evacuation due to infirmity of the rope, gut, or colon. Those and even more are the tokens of dysentery. Yikes.
No luck. I'll have to ask Sister Winifred.
Help me, Sister Winifred.
Sister Winifred! I've looked but can't find a remedy. Tell me, what is the cure for fire in the veins?
A dire challenge indeed. Ox's recipe for pain should aid us here. You will need double brewed ale, honey, feverfew, and wormwood. Though with the raids nearby of late, and the early first frost, you may have trouble with the latter.
Is there anything that can replace it?
Well, I have heard that dust from a relic can have miraculous properties. We're blessed here in Ellie to have several. Perhaps, if you gather some, the saints will intercede on your patient's behalf.
Thank you, sister. God bless you. Double brewed ale, honey, feverfew, and the dust of a relic. Should be simple enough.
Simple. Let's just get this medicine sorted out first.
They might have ale in the kitchens. One found. Great find.
Gotta get out and about. Gotta get down there. It's probably not the right way in and out of the place, but there we go. On liquid gold.
Honeymoon referred to the Scandinavian practice of giving newlyweds a moon cycle's worth of mead. Which is too much mead. But honey was valued by Angles and Norsemen alike. It was then vital for the developers to represent the beekeeping practice as faithfully as possible. Depending on each region's real flora,
Covered in bees.
Fields of flax seeds, poppies, and heather were designed and implemented by modelers and level artists. The flowers used as a seamless way to guide players through their environment. The beehives, seen from afar, also act as a natural marker. You might say a beacon. And are surrounded by NPCs collecting the honey. Sorry about the beacon thing.
Yeah. You should apologize, mate. Alright, let's see what we got over here.
The nuns had set up to gather honey round here.
Ooh. Basim is unlocked now. I wonder what I did.
Do I just take it? Or...
Careful, brother. You wouldn't want to get stung. The bees jealously guard their golden hoard.
I need honey for a remedy. Can you help me?
Of course. Take the honey from the table. I'll gather more for the abbess.
Thank you, sister. God bless you. That's 2. Halfway done.
Seems to want me to go to this spot first, but then there's one all the way over here. Now let's just go over here. We'll see what we can find that way. So I've got to get my bearings. I need to go this way. Oh yeah, there it is, up in the sky. What do I reckon to this mode then? I like it. I like, maybe it's something not to stream, but and just enjoy kind of offline. Look at that fox. Look at the size of that fox. But yeah, I like it. I actually I want to do all of it and stop and read all the things. All right, so it just said how to get a mount, but then it didn't send me one. See, I actually, I really like this. So I've always really, really liked the world building in these games, right? The last 3 Assassin's Creeds. So for me, like, this is kind of a treat because there's so much more life put into the environments with people doing stuff like they would. So what ideally, one day, I hope the game will be able to make the world feel as alive as this
Feverfew grows best in full
while
sun.
you're playing the game, if that makes
And
sense.
hopefully far from the sisters' bees. What does Feverfew look like again?
Good morrow, brother. What brings you to the woods?
Good morrow. Do you know where I could gather Feverfew or wormwood?
No wormwood left this season. As for Feverfew, no small white daisies are what you seek.
Thank you, brother. God bless you.
Thanks, Elric. Total legend. Alright, let's get some of those small white daisies.
And that's the 3rd. Now for the last.
So, I mean, this is a free edition. Like, it's all good. Like, I mean, I bought this game and even though I didn't really progress very far in it, I must have put 30 hours into it. So it's already a nice
level
little
artists and designers used
extra.
different types of forests to structure England's kingdoms. Oak trees, ivy and rowan in Wessex, heatherfields, Scot pine trees, moss and willow trees in East Anglia, beech trees, bluebells and autumnal birch trees in Mercia, and tundra bushes, western gorse, dead and frozen trees in Northumbria. Ubisoft Sophia even recreated Wistman's Wood in Hamptonshire, using the pictures the development team took during their scouting trip. To do so, they integrated old, medium-sized trees, a smattering of rocks, a soupçon of moss, and a bit of fog to complete this ominous atmosphere.
Soupçon. Who says that? Ooh, I could never say this in the game either. Grantabridgeshire. I can't say it. All right, back home. There's a gold spot nearby. Given that we're already all the way out here, I think we'll go and have a look down these creepy woods. Well, there's something down here. Look at this. Is this where the druid hangs out? Or did they burn all the druids by this point? Oh my gosh, look at this tree. This has got to be it, right? Oh wow, so nerdy modern day man is going full meta and telling you how to make the game. Yeah, so you can ignore those parts, like the blue icons tell you about the video game stuff, and you can just keep it to the historical stuff while you're playing through. But you know, so you could ignore those. Magic and medicine. The church considered magical beliefs pagan and evil and forbade their practice. However, monks and nuns still believed in magical creatures like elves, and these beliefs continued to influence Christian medicine. The Bald's Leech Book, a 10th century medical book, shows how magical beliefs endured in the world of medicine. Like, this is 10th century. Like, this is 1,000 years after Christianity got rolling. So this stuff was, like, deeply part of society. The book includes remedies against sickness caused by the elves or goblins or the devil himself. So here's the thing, right? If you believe in the devil, then these kind of subcategories of little evil creatures, it's not a huge leap. If a person was suffering from elf disease, they felt a pain as though they had been shot, according to some. This was because they had been shot with an elven arrow. My God. The book also includes suggestions to fend off attacks by a more canonical Christian enemy, the devil. In this page, the Leech Book suggests a remedy against all Fion's conjugum, all the temptations of the devil. Jeez, I could never have got by. I can't say these words. All right, let's get back. Let's save our buddy. Well, he's not really a friend, but I was eating breakfast with him. The other dude was just going to sit there. Miserable git. Someone's around there. They're interesting, to be fair. Just something funny about the devs sitting there and scripting something about themselves in the third person. I know, and the jokes too. Like, I don't know. You're just a monk in the woods. All right, mate. You're good. Let's just get back. That's still a bloody big fox, though, eh? That's big fox. Alright, let's get back. Go on, while we're here. Raiding the monasteries. The main goal of Viking raiders was to make a quick profit. Members of the clergy maintained that monasteries were the Vikings' favorite targets. But did the Vikings truly single out monasteries for attacks? Medieval Scandinavians may not have seen their attacks on monasteries as different from any other raid. New in town and unfamiliar with Christian institutions, the Vikings may not have been able to tell a monastery apart from any other building. There's another reason that the monasteries might have tempted the Vikings, their locations. As pictured here, monasteries like Lindisfarne were often built close to waterways, much to the horror of monks and nuns. This left them very exposed to Viking raiders who travelled by boat. I think that's Lindisfarne, isn't it? That's how you say it. Medieval Christian medicine. Medicine consisted of observing a patient's symptoms and deciding how to treat them. When seeking to heal disease, people looked to both herbal and supernatural remedies. Early medieval people believed demons and elves were to blame for some diseases and would seek supernatural cures for them. In some cases, ailing patients would be prescribed a religious remedy. They would be encouraged to fast, pray, or go on a pilgrimage, a religious journey. The pilgrim in this illustration has traveled to the tomb of a saint in the hope of being healed. One could also seek help from the saints, holy figures marked by their closeness to God. It was believed that saints could grant miracles and heal the sick. Christians could seek out something a saint had worn or touched, add it to a mixture, drink it, and hope that the saint's miraculous powers would do the trick. Fingers crossed, eh? Alright. That's enough of all that. Let's just get this guy fixed up.
The relics are kept at the back of the chapel. I have everything I need. Now to mix it.
I wonder what we took. Alright, so where are we going? Okay. Lots of Latin being spoken by these guys. I guess that makes sense. Like, the buildings are really amazing though. I do really like that. Another game that had me like really keen on how they did the buildings was The Witcher 3. I owe that game another playthrough as well. Alright, mix it up.
Sister Winifred brought me the recipe from the scriptorium. And now I am delighted to discover you know the use of the mixing bench too. Would that God had sent you to me sooner? The infirmary would be in far better shape.
I spent many summers mixing poultices for the townsfolk in Canterbury.
Then I shall observe and hopefully learn some new tricks of my own. What was the first ingredient in Sister Winifred's remedy?
Ale.
The first ingredient is double brewed ale.
Which two ingredients did you gather in the forest?
It was feverfew and honey to ease the throat.
What did Sister Winifred suggest you substitute for the final ingredient?
Dust from a relic is said to cure many ills. There. Done.
So what we got? We've got honey beer and rather honey ale and some of that feverfew. I mean, what's it gonna do?
Here, brother. Drink this. It will ease your pain.
Alright, so as far as just like a little painkiller, that makes a bit of sense.
Thank you, brother. I can feel it working already. How fortunate I am that God sent you in my time of need.
Rest now. Soon you'll be back on your feet.
Uh-oh.
Brother Elrich, you must come at once.
What's the matter, brother?
Do you not hear the bells? The abbess requires your presence at chapel immediately.
I'll go as soon as I'm done helping Brother Oswin.
No, you must go now. Hurry!
That's the guy at the breakfast table.
I hope the abbess will tell me what's going on.
Sounds like a ruckus. I can hear some horns. I bet it's Vikings.
Abbess, what is happening?
Come with me, Brother Elrich. The heathens are on their way, and we must secure the relics before they approach.
Then we shall all flee together?
No, brother. The others prepare to fight. Collect the reliquary, please.
Forgive me, blessed saints, but I must carry you from your place of rest. Abbess, don't leave me!
Now come, we have no time to spare. Take the relic to your father. Our families may share no love, but we are of a mind when it comes to the Lord. He will know what to do.
That man is a stranger to me.
As was our Lord Jesus Christ when he died on the cross for our sins. Help often comes from unexpected hands, brother. Now, follow quickly. Into the catacombs. Remain swift and silent.
Rats, man.
Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters.
His flight ensured by the abbess's sacrifice, brother Elric, I can't say his name, is alone. To reach King Alfred's court, he will have to cross Viking-ravaged lands and pray he's not discovered. Okay. So we're off to Alfred. Job done. And we've got the fine raven. Fancy. Next task, seaworthy. Thornstein returns home after 5 years of raiding. Reunited with his wife, he wants nothing more than to sail west and build a life with her. But to do so, he will need the support of Harold, who may not be willing to let him leave. Oh, so I see. On each of these, you can explore freely. So I'll go back at some point and pick up the rest of these. I think there's 4 of these kind of stories altogether. While the years at sea have brought Thornstein great riches, they have also taken their toll. He wants to give up raiding, but to do so he needs Harold's permission, something the young Jarl is unlikely to give. So this is Ulrichstad.
So I pried the book from his hands and tore the covers off to bring home. I'll be able to afford another slave this harvest season, at the very least.
These Saxons and their books. You'd think they were more precious than their own lives. But if no one lives to speak of what's written down, who will remember it?
Not to speak of how they treat their dead. Putting bones or pieces of wood inside golden boxes. How this honors their god, I'll never understand.
Waiting won't make it any easier.
Alright, so we're going to go and talk with Alfred.
Thorstein, the hero of many tales. I could not let you pass without experiencing the sting of your wit.
Let's do it.
The mood I'm in, you'd best hope for a stinging rather than a lashing.
Then let's begin. On the Isle of Ely, great riches were won.
A victory some of us wish were undone.
Oh, intriguing and well spoken. I've heard of your legend, your grace and prowess.
You said it yourself. I've no need to impress.
The merchant with the silver tongue strikes again. It's a shame Harald Jarl outshines you so brightly.
Beware that such insults aren't those I take lightly.
A proper threat, delivered in perfect rhythm. Oh, how I've missed you, Thorstein.
I trust you have been stung enough for now.
Thorstein, the hero of many tales.
Right, now the rap battle is over.
Thorstein! You've been far from our shores, but never my thoughts.
There's something I must say, my Jarl.
So formal. Did the crossing scour our friendship from your mind?
It did not. It's only by friendship that I'm brave enough to speak.
Tell me then. I'm listening.
I tire of raiding Harald. I want to settle where there's rich, dark soil for the taking. I want to make a place of our own where I can live out my days with my wife.
You're young yet, my friend. Plenty of time to grow old with a bouncing infant on each knee.
No, my Jarl. I've delayed too long already. Today I search for a ship.
I have none to spare.
Then I shall purchase one.
Commission, perhaps. I hope this folly of yours can withstand a year's wait.
That is what it takes. It is no slight to you, my Jarl. My love for you has not waned, but my love for my wife only grows stronger with each absence. I hope you will bless my journey in time.
Go.
I mean, you've just been on a 5-year raiding trip. Like, I'm guessing that's pretty risky. You would have thought the Jarl might just be like, yeah. Keeping allies close. Norse leaders ensured loyalty from their allies and subjects by sharing their wealth and loot. To hold on to his power, a chieftain had to keep his companions happy, in other words, wealthy. Whether by trade or by war, Norse leaders needed them to get their hands on loot and riches to redistribute them to their allies. This was how they kept their companions in line. A sword like this one might have been given by a wealthy leader to a trusted ally, or one whose loyalty he wanted to ensure. Oh, it's a real one from Denmark. Nice. So what now, Thorstein? What are we going to do? Looks like we're going to go get a boat. Sorry. The Great Hall, built from large lumber and sometimes decorated with ship parts. A Great Hall or slar, or sal. I can't do them. Can't say these words. Salar was a sight to behold. The Great Hall may have been its own building, like the one pictured here, or a large central room in the chief's longhouse. The hall was at the heart of the community. Deep bonds were created, transformed, and sometimes broken under its roof. The chieftain's house, seen in this picture, was reconstructed after archaeologists found remains from a 6th to 10th century longhouse. It is 83 meters long and 9.5 meters wide, making it the longest longhouse. The longest longhouse ever found. That's crazy. That's huge. Oop. I can't get out that way. There we go. I wonder if Ivor and the gang are raiding. Well, what's his name was talking earlier. What's his name? Oh, geez, I forgot. The brother, the son of the, not Alfred, but the other Jarl. I mean, if you were a Viking chief living like this, you wouldn't want your toughest lads giving up and going to start their own thing, would you? Like, you'd want them around. Pretty nice.
I'd best tell Brunhilde we will have no help from our king.
So we're going to do a runner? Or are we going to wait a year? I think we're going to do a bunk, aren't we? Viking equals communist confirmed. Right, with the redistribution, yeah. Thornstein is already more loyal to Harold than Sigurd. He just flat out asks, yeah, in person, you're right. Yeah, Sigurd is the, I'm pretty sure Sigurd was in there talking it up earlier. Norse religion. Medieval Scandinavian religious expression included day-to-day ritual practices, ancestor worship, rune magic, dream interpretation, and more. The Norse believed strongly in fate and destiny. Unlike the Christians, the Vikings did not have a clergy, a select group, or institution who presided over religious rituals. People of different ages, genders, and backgrounds could officiate Scandinavian ceremonies. Private household worship of ancestors and gods like Thor, whose hammer is pictured in this runestone, was supervised by the head of the family. Public events and rituals would be led by the community's chief or jarl. Look at that. The Stenkvista runestone with a depiction of Thor's hammer in Sweden. Right then. I mean, if Sigurd was Sigmund, then sure. Oh, that might be it. Oh, folk is unlocked. So you can use these other characters to explore these locations. But if you change out of character, then you can't progress the main
Udi, keeping
missions.
those hands of yours busy.
Huh! They'll be ready to tie knots in the worst winter storms, I swear.
All right, good stuff.
And they're going to bring it all the way from Ekundersund?
Definitely not.
Oh, that's your wife.
I've never traveled farther than Notfall, and they complained about the food the whole time.
Have you told them of your plans to sail west?
Not yet. They...
Ulf, it is good to see you again.
I couldn't miss this chance to sail with the mighty Thorstein, now could I?
They've woven sails for Thorstein before.
All right, so you've got a lot of folks who
to know that this time will be any different.
are up for it, I think.
Ulla, it's been a long time.
It has. Time has hardened you, my friend, as it has me.
Not yet. They've woven sails for Thorstein before. No need for... Well, how did it go with Harald?
Harold will not stand in our way, but neither will he help us.
Oh, at least he could give you his blessing.
He did not.
Oh, my love. He will come around. His love for you flows deep, but its pull is as strong as the tides.
I see you've made good on your promise to find us traveling companions at least.
This group of good-for-nothings, they're only here as ballast.
Ah, then find a ballast I've never seen. It's a good start, but we will need more men.
I mean, everyone loves a
And
nautical
Navigator.
joke, right?
I know. I've gathered a list of names already.
Ah, my lady Stjarna.
I'm not going to be able to say that word either. All right, so we got Grunhilde and the crew. Let's go check out a boat. Look at the size of this fella. See what this is about. Yeah, naughty jokes, that's right. Naughty, naughty. The sail. The sail was an iconic feature of a Viking longship, often crafted by the women of the clan. They were made of wadmal, coarse and dense wool. Damn, sails were felted to make the material more resistant and waterproof. Damn, it's a thicker product than I would have thought. They first began to use sails on their ships in the 7th or 8th century, where once they only relied solely on oars to move their ships across the water. They now introduced the famous squared sail depicted on this runestone. There are several possible reasons for the addition of the sails. Their introduction may be linked to an increase in wealth and land among Scandinavians. A person would not need a lot of wadmal wool to make a sail. This meant they would need a lot of sheep. Oh, hang on. They would need a lot of wool. Okay. And this meant they would need a lot of sheep and possibly land for grazing. Got you. Therefore, those who owned sails likely had access to a lot of wealth and land. Got it. There's a long ship. Alright, we will skip the video game stuff. We'll just go right on here.
Imvolder, I need a ship. My wife and I leave for the land across the sea.
Harald won't pay for such a vessel, I'm sure. Did you really fill your pockets that well on your last raid?
I have gold enough to cover the cost.
Wood, sails, and all?
Gunhilda's family will provide the sail. The rest I will purchase.
Ah, you're a lucky man.
I know.
Speak with Skaga for a pine mast, then, and yarn for the nails. Tell him I'll expect him to be on time with his deliveries in the future.
I'll see what I can do.
That piece of wood's all bent. Right. So, nails and a mast. Let's get that sorted out. I think, like, so they talk about using this stuff to teach history. And I think if you were a kid and you didn't know anything about Vikings and
what
whatnot,
brings you to my yard?
you'd learn a lot. We're going to get chopping, are we? Good job, mate. Good job.
Imvolder sent me.
Oak or pine?
I'm sorry, what?
New to shipbuilding, are you? Come with me. You'll learn better by doing.
Oh, I've already had some practice.
Use that axe to remove the bark from this log. Underneath you will find silken pine, flexible and light, that will bend in the wind. Perfect for a mast. Once you have a sense of the wood, come find me and I will show you another. Tap in the wedges gently. We want this log to split as straight as possible. That way we will have long, hard boards of oak for the hull of your ship to protect you and your valet. I'll wait for you over there. Planing the wood ensures a tight fit between the boards, leaving no gaps or knots that might give way in the middle of the sea. The smoother the joints, the smoother your journey.
Got it.
Now, which type of wood did Invalda send you for?
Pine for a mast.
Pine for a mast.
I'll send your new mast to the shipyard as soon as it's ready.
Alright. So now we need some nails. And that's across town, so let's go.
Are you looking for something?
Yep.
Invalder sent me.
Of course he did. He tried those nails from Avaldsnes, and I bet they fell apart in the salt water. I use nothing but pure iron, which is why he hates my prices. But at least you won't find yourself suddenly sailing in a bucket full of holes. Head inside the shop. You can take a box from the stack against the back wall. But tell him he'll have to pay up front if he wants more.
I'm the one funding the construction of this ship. You will be paid in full.
I have no doubt. Eventually. Invaldir makes ships that sing on the ocean waves. But mundane thoughts of silver and debt never seem to enter his mind. Don't worry, I'll talk to him. Go get your nails.
Nice. One. Taboos on the high sea. A sailor's world was filled with taboos, topics or behaviors considered offensive or profane that could bring bad luck to a sea voyage. A good way to ward off bad luck on an expedition was to be familiar with all kinds of taboos before setting sail. Along with other maritime skills, lessons about taboos were passed from father to son, from fisherman to fisherman. Those bold or foolish enough to ignore their elders' warnings and risk the wrath of the gods could end their journey, much like this unfortunate crew. What are the taboos? That's what I want to know. Oh well. Superstitious lot, sailors. Yo, Blue, hello mate. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy. We're not even picking up an axe in this one unless it's to chop a piece of wood for your boat, mate. How you doing, Blue? Great. Superstitions on a ship? No. I want to know what, though. Like, what were the Vikings superstitious of? Maybe nobody knows. Yo, Blue, so this is the Discovery Tour thing that just released for Valhalla. So it's a little bit like Viking, and then we were a monk for a bit back in England. It's quite good.
Finally you return. Now, there's one last step to take. Come with me. Which animal would you like best for your prow? I have 3 available, so you can choose the spirit that suits your intentions.
Nice.
You will also need to bring me a blessed charm to put inside the prow.
Right.
But I won't need it for many months yet. Take a look and let me know if you have any questions.
Oh. The elk or Elgir? Okay.
Tell me about the elk.
The elk is associated with the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. For a new beginning in distant lands, it could be quite fitting.
Yes.
Is this the prow you want?
Well, let's have a look at the others, mate.
I'm not sure.
Take your time.
Of course, I like that one.
Tell me about the horse.
The horse? A risky choice. But you can count on it to lead you quickly to port, with the proper ritual precautions, of course. Is this the prow you want?
Not really. Not the risky one. Thanks.
Not sure.
Take your time.
Oh, is this a tentacle?
Tell me about the
Serpent. Yeah.
The snake-headed prow will ensure you dominate the waves with disconcerting
I've been
ease
great,
and
thank you,
great
Blue.
stability. Is this the prow you want?
Yeah, just been trucking along on YouTube. It's been a lot of fun, mate. Life's good otherwise. How about yourself?
Take your time.
You been out there racing? Doing any more of that? That looked amazing, dude.
Tell me about the elk.
I'm picking this elk.
The elk is associated
I
with
guess
the cycle
everybody
of
does.
life, death, and rebirth.
Also, it looks
For a new
totally
beginning
awesome.
In distant lands, it could be quite fitting. Is this the prow you want?
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Then we can get started.
Eikthyr, bless us on our journey to new lands and a new home.
Thorstein.
Ooh.
Yes, my Jarl.
I was childish before. In my joy at seeing you home, I wasn't ready to discuss your departure again so soon. Nor see you gone for good. Please, accept this with my blessing.
Nice.
Unjo, the rune of kinship.
And why not? No man has been a truer brother to me than you. It has been an honor to have you in my félagið, even if this leg of the trip will be shorter.
Seven months later, I guess it takes a while to build a boat. Or a Viking longship. Oh,
The
nice.
day has
Looking good.
finally come.
And all too soon.
Many have come before you, and many will come after. Yet, when I die, it will be your friendship that I recall as I await the opening of Valhalla.
There, we will meet again.
Go then, and the winds take you swiftly to soft lands and great riches.
May your name never be forgotten.
A fine ship for a fine man.
And the finest craftsmanship I've ever laid eyes on. You have blessed us indeed.
I shall miss your scathing replies, Thorstein.
Oh, it's the
And
bard.
I'll miss your insufferable arrogance.
God smile on you, my friend.
You still owe me for that last box of nails.
Imvolder told me he paid.
I'm just playing with you. Be well, Thorstein.
Just jokes, just jokes.
And you.
Treat her well, Thorstein.
Harold's a big fella. Look at him.
My wife will make sure of it. I've never seen a woman more in love with a boat.
And I've never seen so fine a sail. If you ever return, I will have work for her.
And I can apprentice myself to Skaga. A sound plan.
Nice. All right, I think we're good. Pretty busy, which is really good. Nice to hear, Blue. I love how openly close the male characters are in this game, breaking those toxic masculinity tropes. Yeah, it's I mean, all that's all bullshit, isn't it? It's like it's so superficial, and it doesn't hold up either. It doesn't hold up. Like, that stuff breaks down real quick. It's all they're all compensating, dude. At least in my experience, anyway. Oh, Harold was singing. Selling to Notfall to collect the rest of their crew. Okay. Oh, okay. So these things that are getting unlocked, by the way, are now available in the game for you when you play. So I now have a really nice ship set that I might use. So in a race against time and the elements, Thorstein and Grunhilde must gather the final people and provisions and a new navigator for their journey across the sea, or risk losing everything for a dream that will never come to pass. All right, let's do it. I'm just going to quickly hit the head. I will be right back, and we'll get across the sea. And I think the next story after this one is King Harold. No, Alfred the Great. I'll be right back.
Can't take you with us, Sigmund. I'm not risking the lives of my men and wife to these sunstones.
You're making a mistake. With Frodi gone, I'm the best navigator you'll find this time of year, and you know it.
You've already deceived us once with your tales of magic pebbles. I'm not letting you steer us into rocks again. Without Frode to guide you, you're as good as blind.
So you'd rather trust whales and winds than your own Fialach? Bjorn was right about you. Try sailing across the sea in this weather. You won't get past the shore. Not without a skilled sailor.
You're absolutely right. I do need a navigator. But you weren't one to begin with.
Shit. I was listening to that. So, hang on. One of those characters' voices was Eivor's. 100%. Okay. So what's the situation? We lost a navigator. Or was that just an argument between navigators? Oh yeah, I'm sure it wasn't actually like that at the time. Nice for the kids to see it nowadays, though. And no, you don't have to be a Bantosaurus Rex. It's okay to tell your pals you appreciate them. Absolutely. Oof. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my buddies and I are pretty close like that. My aunt passed last week. Oh, God bless, mate. That's awful. Bad luck. I hope you're doing all right. And had both of them calling every day saying they loved you. My God, dude. You lucky bastard. Yeah. I might have mentioned this before, but I had a really interesting experience recently. My kids were doing basketball, and at the end of the basketball, it was run by the local cops, right? And our local cops are good. I'll just say that. You know, we're lucky. And they said at the end, when they were wrapping up and they had the parents around, and they were talking all about the 2 weeks, and then they said how impressed they were with the kids and how much nicer the kids were to one another, and how much better sportsmanship was, and how much less no bullying and all of that stuff compared to when they were kids in school. And these guys were only a few years older than me. And I was like, you're not wrong, dude. And I think this reaction against like people calling out what is obviously a bunch of bullshit, the reaction to it, like the overreaction, and like, oh, it's going to doom us all and all this stuff is so telling. Like, it's just such bullshit. And it's also like, because I'm quite interested in the similar reaction you get when anything militarily is kind of, I don't know what word to use, but, you know, kind of modernized, I suppose. And it's always surprising how open the military here is, in the US at least. Oh, I see. We're heading down here. And, yeah, anyway, it just leaves me thinking, what do I have to do here? I've got to follow the coast and go to the quest objective. So there's strength in what you're describing. That's how I feel. And I think it's understated and less obvious, but better.
Each navigator will force to turn away.
He got an offer he
rather than this confrontational macho bullshit.
Great sea king given the chance?
And there's a place for it, but it's not every day.
That broke his word. Now we have no navigator and no men in the middle of the sailing season. How are we supposed to cross the sea?
Trick is waiting for us in Notfall with our supplies. He might have heard of someone trustworthy.
Notfall folk dread the great waters more than a feral cat. They'll be of no use in the upcoming storm. No. I'll ask my mother. She knows everyone in Ekundarsund.
Yeah,
I'll
I hear
find
you,
the
Tommy.
clan to join us there.
Shit's crazy,
Is it
man.
wise for you to go? They might not agree to sail with a woman aboard.
I'm
Not to
sure my
mention,
charms will
women have
outweigh
been
their
graduating
fears.
Annapolis for years. Must have been a Marine, dude. I think that's probably what it is. I do like the prow of this ship. Look at that. It's amazing. All right, so we are
Trick looks busy with our supplies. Good man.
I'll be off then, to find the men
yeah.
we need.
Be
do we
swift,
call it?
my love. We'll meet you in
Navigator.
Ekundarsund once the boat is loaded.
There we go. Hello.
Trick.
Oh,
I gather these crates are full of dried cod?
this is
They
your
are.
slave.
And the other ones have hard bread, mead, and wool canvases for the crew.
Excellent. You have served us well for many years now, Trick. Faithfully.
I can't say it was a pleasure, but you've treated me with respect. I'm grateful for it. Now, I hope my debt has been paid.
In full. Are you sure I can't tempt you to come with us? Your help would be invaluable.
Shackles here versus shackles across the sea? Tough choice to make.
You misunderstand me. I free you, here and now. But if you return to me willingly as a slave, you can purchase a place amongst my crew. Once we're established in the land across the sea, I'll free you for good, and take you as my partner in trade.
Not many slaves would get an offer like that. Well then, let's get these supplies on board before the storm hits us.
I mean, that right there is almost like just a contractual agreement. That's like employment, almost. I guess it depends what it means to be a slave. All right, we're Grunhilde now. That panoramic view isn't kicking in. It seems a bit bugged to me. I saw a thing a little... Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, I've only been knocked 2 times in my life. One of those was by a woman. Yeah, man, if they can do it, they can do it, you know? I think that's... And there's some truth to the idea that... And people will argue with me about this, but the actual war fighting involved is... obviously is a life and death matter, so there's some concern about things, I suppose you can extrapolate back from that, but the vast majority of the work is not, and of course they can do it. Divinities of the sea. Ancient Scandinavians believed in a vast pantheon of powerful supernatural beings. These divinities oversaw different realms, including the sea. Just like the ocean itself, sea divinities could be both kind and cruel. Many divinities oversaw the seas and oceans. One of the most important was Njord, a god from the Vanir tribe, father of the twin fertility gods, Freya and Freya. Njord looked after the ship, the wind, and fishermen, like those aboard this ship. Another sea divinity was Aegir. He was not a god, but a giant, and the embodiment of the sea itself. His name even meant sea. Legend said that Aegir sat at the head of a great underwater hall where all those lost at sea would join together and feast beneath the waves. That's actually a nice thought. Aegir's wife, the goddess Ran of the Azir tribe, was not as kindly as her husband. She would stalk reckless sailors and shipwreck victims, trap them in her nets, and drag them into the watery depths to drown. Nightmare. Alright, so what are we up to here with Grunhilde? Okay. In a race against time and the elements, Thornstein and Grunhilde must gather their final people and provisions and a new navigator for their journey across the sea, or risk losing everything. Alright, so I guess we are getting on a horse right now.
4 legs are faster than 2.
There we go. Not quite following where we want to go. There we go. Let's get some cinematic views as we get cross country here. Man, we're on a gallop.
Freyr, gods, let this horse bring balance and protection to our journey.
How do Viking ships communicate? Norse code. Very good,
Mother
Blue.
will be happy to see me.
Yo, maybe we'll slow down a little bit. Sorry, folks. Now, is this where we're headed? Yeah. All right. So let's go find the fam. Or is this? We're looking for a navigator here. I forget.
seem to have been visited by Goddess Freya herself.
Mother, it's been a while.
Far too long. The sheep miss you, Gunhilda. They can't bear the thought of losing you to the land across the sea.
They might not have to.
Whatever is troubling you, my love, we will remedy it.
We need more men. The clan we recruited has decided to remain on land. We're left with no navigator nor crew.
Some clans have just returned from the sea. I've seen them camp nearby. I can take you to them, but you'll have to be persuasive.
Do you doubt my abilities, Mother?
I wouldn't dare. You've always had wits sharper than Gungnir. I can only hope that just like Odin's spear, you will return to me.
You know we must go where our opportunities lie. This land is overcrowded. We want our own fields, to harvest our own crops.
All right. I won't push any further. Your father will be heartbroken.
And you won't be?
My heart broke the day you left our home.
I think Random used this one before, but why do the Norwegian Navy print barcodes on the side of their ships so that when they get back to port, they can scan the Navy in? It's we'll allow it, Tommy. We'll allow it, mate. It's a good one. Scandinavian.
Free men of Eikundarsund, heed my call. We are looking for those brave enough to defy the whale road with us. You! Will you sail with us?
I saw you on the path earlier. You came here on a horse, didn't you?
Oh shit, did I run you down?
You shamelessly admit it. You fool. No, I won't sail with you. I don't want to face the spirit's wrath.
Oh, this is a taboo thing.
I intend to break the curse of sailing with a woman when riding that horse. It should protect us.
Have you seen the sky? The gods are already punishing you for your arrogance.
Looks alright.
Bondi, join us.
My men and I have just returned from years of Viking.
Do you know how Vikings play games on the Xbox? Be my
Time
favorite.
for us to tend to our crops and see our children grow.
When do you leave?
Today.
Have you sailed before?
My husband sailed with Harald Jarl himself. He sailed enough for both of us.
I've learned to be wary of boastful spirits. Your word alone isn't enough.
How can I convince you to accompany us?
Well, why are you leaving our northern land?
Not enough
My husband
land.
is a second son. If we were to stay, our farm will pass to his eldest brother, and we'll be left with nothing.
I understand that all too well. My men and I have found this temporary campsite, but we've got nowhere to go.
Then come with us.
It does sound tempting. Would you have enough supplies for all my men?
We'll have meat and water aboard.
Fresh meat. It's not very practical to eat. How will we cook it? How will we store it?
Oops.
You're right. It might be wiser to bring something else. My husband is loading the meat and the dried fish aboard our ship as we speak. We'll have plenty for everyone.
How will we be sleeping?
We'll protect ourselves with wool canvases.
That should be enough. How will you find your way across the sea?
We'll observe the signs Midgard has given us. The birds, the currents, the stars.
What do Vikings call English villages shopping
We need
centers?
someone to interpret it.
Where do southern Vikings go after death? Valhalla. That's an American Viking joke, that one. I like it.
We? Have you decided to come?
I have. You speak true and my men are ready to settle.
I'm honored. Gather your men and your things. I'll take you to our ship.
Nice. Even though I messed up the food and drink one.
I should know better than to ever doubt you. You excel once again.
There's little to stand in your way when you aim for the sky. Stiger's clan will accompany us. But we remain short a navigator.
I thought of someone while loading the ship.
Who?
You'll need to trust me. But we must reach Helloya first. And fast. The storm is imminent. It's looming on the horizon.
Well, there is a storm
like a bad
coming.
omen. Have we offended the gods in some way?
I rode a horse to my mother.
Gundhilda.
You asked me to trust you. It's only fair you do the same. We didn't have time to pay our respects to the spirits. I did what I must. Now, how do we reach Helloya?
I know where Helloya is.
Then, lead the way.
Leif Erikson was an American Viking, right? Or a Viking who landed on America. I don't know. I don't know about that. Sounds likely.
We must exit the fjord. Sail right.
Sail right? Okay.
Now straight ahead towards the setting sun. Now, get closer to the shore, but make sure to keep the rocks on your left and the land on your right. We don't want to damage the hull.
You got it. Don't hit the rocks. Okay. Not here then. Just looked it up.
Embrace the shore until you see a tower of ice.
Apparently the first European to step foot on Northern America after he was blown off course on his way home to Greenland. Huh. How big of a travesty would it be if I ran an Audi as your next derby car?
The ice tower.
I mean...
Sail towards it. But beware, we're in shallow waters now.
I could live with it. I'm not too attached to Audis, but I hear what you're saying, dude. Dude, if it's cheap enough, like, and does it have all-wheel drive? That might be a real, I remember this spot. I only just replayed through here. This was like a little bandit hideout. Is this where we want to be? Oh, no, it's not. We need to head out here. He said west, and I didn't go west, did I?
Well done. Now we're going to pass a small island filled with sea lions.
looks like a small island, but I don't see any sea lions.
Past the Sea Lions Island. Our destination is ahead. Do not lose your course through the storm.
500? You haven't been able to look at it yet. I mean, that sounds alright. Might be a winner there, Tanner. You wouldn't need to remove the indicators at least. Hang on, I gotta go this way, right?
Do you see the light? Go towards it. It's
Oh.
our destination.
Alright, I see. Storms are bare, man. Look at this. Can you imagine how cold they'd be? They'd be pretty cold. Coming in a little hot there.
We've arrived! This is Halloya.
Nice one, dude. Right. Let's see if we can find this guy.
You shouldn't be here.
Bjorn, brother, I've come to...
Oh!
Brother? When have we ever been brothers?
It's this guy.
We were in the same Filak, Bjorn. We've sworn oaths to respect, support, and protect each other. They still hold true for me.
Those oaths were broken long before my exile, Thorstein, by both of us. You might have forgotten, but I've had years of solitude to remember.
Your scorn would be the death of us all. I haven't forgotten, but I refuse to let the past haunt my future. Maybe you should do the same. We need you, Bjorn. Join us. Lead us through the salted mountains.
Is this a trick? Why come to me?
Can't you trust that not everyone is deceitful? No other sea rider tames the waves like you do.
Now that I can't believe. Take me to your ship then, and we'll leave this wretched place. I see you've made a true sea king of yourself.
It wasn't always pleasant, but I haven't been idle.
It must be nice to have Harald's support.
Mostly Gunhilda's. But yes.
Gunhilda, you haven't changed.
That's
Still
enough
as
from you. Leave us.
merciless as
She's not happy.
I know what you're going to say.
Yet it didn't stop you from making such a foolish decision.
You would have never agreed.
And with good reason. How are you so quick to forget?
I'm not.
I don't trust him.
Neither do I. But he's in that boat as well. He won't put us all in danger.
And after that?
After that, we'll part ways. The Isle of Britannia has plenty of land to spare.
Oh, may the gods hear you.
Yep. She's mad, dude.
Head towards the eye of the storm! Brace yourselves! The road is treacherous!
I hope we don't like do all of this and then just sink. That would definitely suck. With the help of Bjorn, an old foe turned ally in Stygia's crew, Thorstein and Grunhilde are set to depart. We did it. As they sail towards new lands, will they be able to leave the shared enmities behind, or will the past return to haunt them? I don't know. Oh, what do we get? Early medieval horse, a fine mount. Very nice. So how we doing? I think I might have time just to get this started. Chippenham, Anglo Saxon Britain. 7 years have passed. Brother Elric, now a confidant of King Alfred, has been Guthrum's hostage at Chippenham for 5 months. In order to win his freedom, he must convince Guthrum to seek peace, which the aging Jarl is loath to do. Alright. Man. This chap went from helping out on the medical bench to confidant of the king and a hostage. It's one thing upsetting the wife, it's another thing to do it just before hopping on a longship for a few weeks. Right. Right. Hostage for many months while the tide of battle has turned in Alfred's favour. Now Alfred has besieged the Danes' army at Chippenham and all await his final word. Will it be execution or mercy?
Praise be to God, the Most High, glory of glory, Lord of lords. Help me to show your grace and forgiveness to those who need it most.
Guthrum Jarl approaches!
For thine is the kingdom, the power, and of glory forever and ever. Amen.
Elrich, are you done speaking with your god for now?
My dialogue with him is constant, my lord, even if my lips are not moving.
My lord this, my lord that. You Saxons are quick to bend the knee. Perhaps it's why you make such excellent prisoners.
And yet King Alfred's army of Saxons has you surrounded.
Yes, well. I had expected him to send for you, but 5 months and more he has left you here with no word. Perhaps you are not as precious to him as you led me to believe.
For what man knows the things of a man except the spirit which is in him?
Or perhaps he finds your habit of quoting dead men as insufferable as I do.
I doubt that very much, my lord.
Come, walk with me. It must be almost time for you to pray again. I'll speak plainly. I've kept my men from pillaging Chippenham so that Alfred will have no quarrel with me should he retake his home.
I see.
Do you? If he bests us, I will be at your mercy instead of you at mine. Can I trust you to speak on my behalf, or do Saxons cling to their grudges as dearly as Vidar?
Christ demands we show others the mercy he has already shown us. You have nothing to fear from me, my lord.
Well, we shall see. You served under Alfred for many years. Tell me, how does he keep the loyalty of his men? After so many years of defeat, surely his soldiers would join another army.
King Alfred's role has been ordained by God. To desert him would be to go against divine will.
There are no contests of strength, no challenges to his rule.
Why would there be? He alone is destined to lead us until God chooses otherwise.
There may be something to this religion of yours after all.
Yo, hello, Chewbacca. Yeah, this is AC Valhalla, but this is the newly released Discovery mode, which came out yesterday evening, my time. So this is like the 5th story, I think. So you basically play through these stories set in the same land and time as Valhalla, and it kind of teaches you about like Vikings and Anglo-Saxons and stuff like that. It's really good.
No.
And it's free update to the game.
It's gone.
Uh-oh.
I want every Saxon in this place searched head to toe.
Wait!
Remember your place, Saxon.
These people have been here since the siege began. They've no reason to steal, not now, and nowhere to flee if they did.
You accuse my men?
I accuse no one. Let me speak with those present. I will find the thieves.
No. You will return to your cell immediately.
Wasn't there an old detective show where the guy was some old monk?
Hears of it and decides to
like a
retake
medieval
Chippenham by
thing?
force.
I feel like there was.
One of these people must have seen something.
The church altar. Altars were church structures made of stone or wood upon which priests made offerings. They ranged in size, held precious relics, and were key to certain Christian rituals, including Mass. In the 4th century, the relics of important saints began to be placed in church altars, as depicted in this illustration. Any ritual performed at those altars would share in the holiness of the saints whose relics they housed. While some altars were fixed, others could be moved. The main altar in Anglo-Saxon churches could nearly always be found against the wall of the outermost section of the building. This meant the priest performing the rituals would be facing away from the crowd of worshippers. His actions would be hidden from their view, which might suggest that they were sacred, restricted, a private communion between him and God. There is a altar. And Canute the Great, King Canute. How about that? It looks amazingly beautiful. I have the game, just haven't got around to playing it yet. Currently working on Snowrunner. Yo, Snowrunner is my bag, dude. But yeah, so I like this game a lot too. I am playing this in the best graphical mode, and I'm only capturing it at 1080. But the game, it's just stunningly looking. But yeah, if you haven't played AC Valhalla, this isn't the normal game. This is like a kind of a tour, like a history tour through parts of it.
Church with items made of gold or silver?
Surely I did. Some Saxons came here and took everything they could, carrying it all off to the butcher's house, next to the market.
That seems strange.
It's easy to find out.
Good Christians would have no reason to take what is theirs already.
Are you questioning my honor?
Merely making an observation. Thank you for your candor.
Ooh, don't mind me. Brother Cadfael, right? My God, dude. Thank you. I was sure there was something.
Did you see who took the relic and the rest of the gold?
That's amazing.
I saw nothing.
Don't let my
leave me
accent
alone.
put you off. I've been in the US for years. Oh, she didn't see anything, and she was mad that I asked her. Okay. Let's try this youngster. What happened, dude?
Did you see anyone carrying items of gold from the chapel?
I saw some men in furs and armor hiding things under their cloaks. They were talking about leaving Chippenham at night and said the statue would be too heavy. Then they went to the big house next to the Great Hall.
You have done our Lord a tremendous service, child. Thank you. Guthrum should know what I found.
Yeah, we basically found out.
Tell me, brother, did you see who stole from the chapel?
Don't ask me. Please, just go.
I need to find out what happened to the relic.
All right, we know. Let's just have a look here real quick. Christianization. There is a difference between conversion and Christianization. In conversion, one could recognize Christ as divine and keep one's heathen ways. Christianization involved a change in worldview and a daily ritual. Scandinavians would have adopted the following practices: fasting on Fridays and during Lent, having their children baptized, avoiding marriage with cousins, donating to churches, swearing by relics or religious objects like this ivory plaque, and more. Unlike conversion, which can occur quickly, these behaviors were slowly integrated into the community. It is possible that the Christianization of the Vikings began prior to their arrival in Anglo-Saxon Britain. Many Vikings came from places where they would have encountered Christian ideas and perhaps absorbed them. The Vikings' familiarity with Christianity might have smoothed their quick assimilation into the Anglo-Saxon population. You can see why some teachers use this stuff, because that's a big difference. Look at a cat. What's up, cat? All right, let's go tell the boss man what's up. Where's he at? Further down here. Avoiding marrying one's cousins. I know that some couples could use that lesson. Yo, still goes on, eh? People still do it.
I need to check the butcher's house.
Do I have to sneak in here? Oh, that looks like an open window. Do you think anyone will see me?
These people have nothing, not even firewood. I'll find no hidden relic here.
Oh, really? Oops. All right. Nothing at the butcher's house. Still got the moves though, hasn't he? Parkour. Oh, hang on.
The child said the thieves went to the big house next to the Great Hall. Bjorn! Pleasure to see you. I'm searching for our sacred relics that have been taken from the chapel. May I look inside to clear your good name?
Certainly not. My men are sleeping, and I won't have them disturbed by some monk on a foolish hunt for fault where there is none.
I need to look inside. There must be another entrance.
Bet there is. What's this then? Just having a sit down? All right. I mean, it's got to be up on the roof, right? Yeah, let's maybe not. There's nobody sleeping in here.
Babes.
What were you able to get? Not much. They're guarding the food carefully now, but we should have enough for 2 or 3 days.
We'll leave tonight then, before Alfred's war dogs arrive. Gather the gold into sacks, and let no one see you.
It shall be as you say, Bjornjarl.
I like the sound of that.
I should exit the same way I came in.
All right, well, that's the proof. Staying the winter. Vikings usually raided during the summer. They would sail the seas, then come back home in time to harvest their crops. Sometimes, however, they needed to find shelter abroad for the winter months. Unexpected circumstances occasionally forced Viking sailors to find a place to spend the winter. They would seek shelter in a small cove or a river island to wait out the cold. These temporary overwintering sites could become permanent outposts like emporia, villages, or even major cities, as seen on this map: Torquay, Repton, Mercer, Shrewsbury, Jorvik, and London. No way, dude. How about that?
My lord, I found the missing gold and the relic of Ely.
I told you to return to your cell, Elrich. I will not brook disobedience, not from my men and not from you.
I found the relic with all the missing gold and silver. I also overheard your men talking about fleeing Chippenham and leaving you to face Alfred's wrath alone.
What? Who spoke of these plans?
No one whose honor I would impugn before the sight of God.
Your piety may cost me my throne. Very well. I will discover the truth without you. Now return to your cell. Do not let me lay eyes on you until you come at my command.
Yes, my lord. I need to return to my room. Guthrum abhors disobedience.
All right. Where's that exactly? Okay.
Get inside, monk. I won't be held accountable by Guthrum if you disobey him again.
2 days later.
Good morrow, Bjorn. Have you come to join me in prayer?
Uh-oh.
Never, monk. Guthrum Jarl wants to speak with you in the Longhouse. Bring your golden idol. You'll need it before long.
Bjorn is waiting. I should not stoke his impatience. It's time to travel again, old friend.
This relic carries a shard of the one true cross, if you doubt its potency.
I've no interest in your myths. What I want to know is why you didn't tell Guthrum, who was involved in the theft.
Should a child be punished for every misstep they take while trying to learn the rules of their world?
I'm no child!
We are all children in our walk with Christ, Bjorn. Especially those who have not yet begun to follow him.
Spare me your sermons, monk. But my men and I owe you, so thanks.
It's time to travel again, old friend.
So that was the right thing to do, not to stitch up Bjorn? Maybe.
You wished to see me, my lord?
Your king has finally sent for you. Alfred has delivered the terms of my surrender and I have accepted. You are no longer my prisoner.
Thank you, my lord. I will remember you in my prayers.
One moment, Elrich. I admit the insights I gleaned into the Saxon mind through our discussions made Alfred's terms easier to swallow. He wants me to be baptized, to become a Christian king. It is you who convinced me that doing so would increase my power, not diminish it.
Of course, any who come to the Lord are welcome. Hopefully in time, you will appreciate the many other gifts God offers beyond mere power as well.
Mere power? Hold your tongue, monk. With the treaty signed, your usefulness is at its end. Leave by the main gate. A horse awaits you. Now go before I change my mind.
Yes, my lord.
Well, happy days.
I'd better meet the messenger before Guthrum changes his mind.
getting lost in Chippenham. Oh, look at that. There's a full-on henge over there. Man, this game looks like a painting sometimes. That is impressive. Oh man, here we go.
Unique weapon models were designed for AC Valhalla. After thorough historical research, modelling artists had the difficult task of designing realistic but spectacular weapons. Talk about a brain twister. Well, that's a good name for a weapon, actually. The flail was also added to the arsenal as a unique form of weaponry, even though flails weren't used by soldiers in battle but by peasants during harvest. To enjoy these weapons even more, new fighting styles were created. Players can now fight with a weapon in each hand, the dual wielding, or hit foes with their shield, sort of like a dual shielding.
Blimey, Sean. You gotta work on that stuff, mate. So hang on. I put down the idol here. Or the icon. I'm not sure I was supposed to.
It is King Alfred who must claim this great victory, though of course God strengthens his hand. Brother Aelrich, I was told to wait on you. King Alfred desires to see you at once.
And let us not keep the good king waiting. What news in Winchester since Christmas?
Too much for me to say. But the battle at Eddington was won, and soon the countryside will be free for all good Wessex men to till and plough as before.
For so many years of war, the land seems all but untouched.
Yea, nature's beauty has taken not nearly so hard a beating as we have.
It's a pleasure to see it again as a free man at last. What news of the king? How does he celebrate his triumph?
With more plans and late-night discussions. I've never seen a man smile so little when reporting such a great victory.
He's right to be wary. Guthrum is not tamed yet.
If you say so. His ferocity seemed to be at an ebb when I delivered King Alfred's terms.
I pray you are right. It would be well if we are done with war for his sake and ours.
I'll drink to that, brother.
I think I'll just stop here and have a look at this. The megalith. A megalith is a massive prehistoric stone used in a monument. Megaliths likely played a role in the religious rites of ancient societies. Megalith monuments, including stone circles, can be found throughout the world. In England, there are a number of standing stones arranged in a circle. Sometimes the megaliths stand alone, sometimes in pairs and topped with a stone roof or lid. Avebury, I've been there, is home to one of the biggest stone circles in the world, has a diameter of 331.6 meters, and was built during the 4th millennium BCE. The Avebury monument features a large stone henge, a raised ring of earth, a big outer stone circle, and 2 smaller inner circles at its center. Is this supposed to be Avebury? Yeah. The aliens did it, right? Aliens. Very cool. All right, I'm going to come back here. Anglo-Scandinavian farming. As the Scandinavians occupied territories in Anglo-Saxon Britain, their population grew. This growth in the number of people who was matched by a rise in agricultural production. The growing population meant growing need for prime materials, crops and livestock that could be used for food, clothing, trade and taxes. Scandinavian settlers likely grew 4 types of cereals: wheat, whose flour made coarse bread; barley for brewing beer; rye and oats to feed both humans and animals. They also grew legumes and herbs like dill and coriander for spicing and seasoning. They cultivated flax and hemp to make textiles for clothing and trading. The Scandinavians' use of livestock was not much different from that of the Anglo-Saxons. For both groups, cattle provided milk and meat, and oxen were used to plough fields, as seen in this manuscript illustration. God, and then they farmed that way, like for hundreds of years. Oh, all the lizard people, right. Excuse me. Winchester. It's funny, Winchester is like quite far south. Let's see what they're saying here.
The castles of England were meant to be seen from afar by anyone seeking refuge. Except rulers didn't really account for their castles also attracting Vikings. All fortified areas in AC Valhalla were inspired by the castles the development team visited while in England. Portchester, Derby, Goodrich, Housesteads, the Roman fort at Hadrian's Wall. They nearly bankrupted the project just in the gift shops alone. The Castell Trefaldwyn in Wales inspired the fictional Corstow Castle, a fort in the Shropshire region. In AC Valhalla, castles are a telltale sign of great bounty to collect during raids, and lords will often retreat behind a castle's protective walls when fleeing from Eivor. Oh, they can run, but they can't hide. Well, I mean, they can hide, but, you know, Eivor will still get them.
Eivor will get them. I'm sorry, buddy. If somebody was holding my buddy 5 minutes down the road, I wouldn't wait 5 months. Are you retracted? What did I was going to say? I'll say this: like, it does feel like all of these games, as big as their worlds are, like it does feel like condensed, like rather over. They feel very dense, like, and that's normally a good thing when you're playing a game, but it does kind of break immersion a couple times. You know what I mean? Like, oh, my dude was just 5 minutes down the road. I hear exactly what you're saying.
King Alfred awaits you inside.
Thank you for ensuring my safe return.
You've been drinking, dude? You rolled right off the back of that horse. Oh my God, you're a giant. Are you gonna get
Alfred will be waiting on my return.
I'll get it. That huge man put the relic down for me to pick up. Look, I'm about half his size. You're big too. Could you help? No? All right. Look at a stained glass. That's awesome. Gorgeous. All right, what we got here then?
Brother Elrich, you are returned to me at last.
By God's grace, it is so.
And by mine. I was the one who included your safe passage in the terms of Guthrum's surrender.
Oh, thanks,
I am
pal.
grateful to you as well, my lord.
And you have returned with the relic of Ely. I was ready to chase the Danes to recover it, but I see you have the matter well in hand.
With Guthrum's aid, yes.
You speak kindly of him.
Even after so many months as his captive? Truly, you exemplify Christ's grace. Now come, we have a baptism to plan.
So what's going on here? We're baptizing the Viking guy. 3 weeks later.
The baptism will soon begin.
So this is East Anglia. So hang on, I gotta check my geography. Yeah, so Winchester isn't East Anglia at all. So I'm just guessing we changed location. Yeah, this is crazy cool. Imagine being a kid learning history this way. It'd be amazing. That's beautiful, Lindsay. All right, let's. Oh, okay. Let's follow up with Alfred.
That's why I've chosen the name Adel Stan. I trust you agree it is fitting.
Jarl Guthrum, to have you come in peace to our city at last fills my heart with joy.
Oh, Athelstan.
You seem well, Elrich.
I mean, I'm guessing it's the one from history.
As a life in the service of Christ will agree with you.
Indeed. Let us delay this happy occasion no longer.
I should take my place amongst the faithful.
I've got to sit down. Can you imagine if this is how you learnt this stuff? Man, I would love it. I would have loved it.
Vis ad vitam ingredi, serva mandatum, diligus domino, diem tuum ex toto cortu, et ex tota animatua, et ex totement tua, et proximum tuum sicut typesum.
Amen.
Right, mate.
Exapi signum crucis tam in front, quam in cord, sum fidem plastium preceptorum, et talis esto moribus, ad tempum Deum as possis.
Amen. Amen.
Safe return with the relic from the Isle of Ely gives new support for Alfred's political something. I missed it. With Guthrum now baptized, the stage is set for a new era of peace and prosperity between the two Christian kings. Happy days. And we've got the early medieval tattoo set, which I'm not sure about because it kind of looks a bit gold and stuff like that. But I'm going to have to wrap it up there, folks, because I think that's all it's going to be for today. Is that yes, a bit over 3 hours. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Hang on a minute. I'm the Viking. So I wonder actually if I can pick a different character to freely explore in with exploration characters. When exploring the world outside of a quest, you can customize your appearance by selecting a playable character. To unlock a specific character, look at the menu entry and complete the given objective. So we did complete a couple of these. There's Basim. So we haven't unlocked these guys. So let's just go with female Eivor. There we are. Anyway, so I think I'm going to wrap it up there. We'll see you next time. That'll be Friday, and that will almost certainly be some Snowrunner. What I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to finish up all of this stuff in a video and pin it next to this live stream. So anyway, thanks everybody. Blue, nice to see you, mate. Glad you're Still racing, man. Let us know how it goes. Nice to see you, Lindsay. Thanks for stopping in. And Chewbacca, good to have you stop by. Tommy, hope work's treating you well. Thanks for stopping in, mate. And chatting away. And Safehouse Live, lovely to see you today. Yuzi stopped by. And Sunday Vanilla and Mimi Cattails, and be friendly. Very nice, everybody. And I'll see you